welcome to the Bethesda Chevy Chase Community Advisory Team meeting. We are going to get ready to start tonight. Would just like to remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded and it will be posted to our website, purplelinemd.com, along with all of our supporting project materials from tonight. And we ask that you please keep your microphones muted and your cameras off during the presentation. Please hold all of your questions until the end of the presentation for the Q&A session. And we would also ask that you limit all questions to about 1 minute so that we can get everybody in. And for any of those that would like a live translation, the Teams format can translate the meeting live. And instructions for on how to turn this translation function on, our community liaison, Stephanie Villegas, will explain. Stephanie?
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos. La aplicación Teams puede traducir esta reunión en vivo en varios idiomas, incluyendo español, árabe, chino, francés y portugués, y muchos más. Las instrucciones para ver las traducciones en vivo están en la sección del chat. Gracias. Back to you, Carla.
Thank you. All right, let's get started. Next slide. Okay, so tonight we're going to do staff introductions, our project status video, and we'll do a little bit of construction update with the work we've completed, progress photos, and upcoming work. We'll touch a little bit on community engagement, and then we'll get to our Q&A. Tonight, you're going to hear from Ray Biggs II, our MTA Senior Project Director, Doran Basso, our CEO at Purple Line Transit Partners, myself, Carla Julian, Scott Glass, our construction manager for this area, and Matt Pripich, our corridor-wide construction manager. Next slide. We're going to touch on the Bethesda and Connecticut Avenue stations as part of this CAP meeting as well. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ray to introduce the fall progress video.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you, Stephanie, for kicking it off for us. Welcome, everyone, again tonight, and thank you for joining us to conclude our CAP meetings for this fall season. We have made significant progress across the project, so let's check out the video highlighting some of this progress. Chris, let's play the video. Welcome to our fall progress update video for 2024. We are here on Campus Drive at the University of Maryland, where we recently completed a lot of our summer construction work that completed the track installation all along Campus Drive. We are so excited that we have 5 light rail vehicles at our operations and maintenance facility, and we also completed 10 miles of track across the alignment. Did I also mention that we have over 17 miles of sidewalk that have been installed? Additionally, you can see the colorful canopies that are right behind me, and we have 19 stations that will be in construction by the end of this year. And we are so excited that we are moving forward, completing the momentum on the project, and continuing that going forward.
Crews have focused on many specific areas to minimize impacts and advance the project. In Prince George's County, crews prepare for track placement by establishing work zones in the center of University Boulevard. Traffic is shifted to the newly completed sections on either side of the road. At the University of Maryland, crews have successfully completed much of the heavy construction through the center of campus. This year, students arrived to find newly completed sidewalks, embedded tracks, paved roadways, and all lanes open on Campus Drive. Also in Prince George's County, crews opened 2 new roads, 64th Avenue and Mustang Drive. Both connect communities to Riverdale Road at signalized intersections. The flyover bridge from Kenilworth Avenue over East-West Highway has also been completed. Track crews completed the crossing of River Tech Court and opened the road 3 weeks ahead of schedule. At the operations and maintenance facility, the new light rail vehicles are being prepared for testing.
I am honored and thrilled to stand here today at our operations and maintenance facility in front of this. Maryland, we have a train.
Good morning. I'm Holly Arnold, administrator of the MTA, and I am so thrilled to be here today to celebrate the arrival of the first of the Purple Line light rail vehicle. I want to do it. Yeah. Huge congratulations to the Purple Line team. This team does not sleep. They are working all the time to deliver the Purple Line for Maryland, and I'm so thankful and grateful for them.
These vehicles are 142 feet long. That's nearly half of a football field, almost twice the size of a metro vehicle, and will be the longest light rail in North America. It'll hold up to 430 passengers. There will be 8 bike racks on board, as well as 8 dedicated wheelchair spaces accessible near the doors. These electric-powered LRVs will reduce energy and carbon emissions, as well as being quieter than other modes of transportation.
Over the summer, we worked very closely with our partners at CSX, WMATA, Montgomery County Parks, and Montgomery County Schools to complete a lot of construction work and installing track all across the alignment.
In Montgomery County, the Purple Line has successfully placed both sets of tracks across the Wayne Avenue and Dale Drive intersection prior to the start of the school year. They have also installed the complex curve track at Piney Branch Road and University Boulevard, and fully opened the Talbot Avenue Bridge. At the Silver Spring Transit Center, the LRV bridge over Colesville Road and the foundations and superstructure for the new mezzanine are taking shape. Crews also started the work to build a new and improved Spring Street Bridge by completing the bridge demolition during the WMATA summer shutdown. Station construction can be seen across the whole alignment, with station after station taking shape. The highlight of the station construction is the installation of the first Art in Transit artwork element at the Campus Drive UMD station. The artists at Legg Lewis Legg added a beautiful display of color that changes throughout the day and is a shining example of things to come at the Purple Line.
Thank you again for your patience, and while we continue construction, we are going to keep the momentum up across the alignment, moving from laying track into the testing phase of the light rail vehicles across the alignment. We are so excited about the Purple Line, and we know you are too. Thank you.
All right, so let's take a look at the project timeline. If you look in the center of the page here, you'll see our next big milestone that we are moving towards is completing our test track and then going into the testing phase along the test track, along the alignment there at Veterans Parkway. If you hadn't had a chance to take a ride out on Veterans Parkway, I invite you to take a ride out there. You'll be able to see what the Purple Line looks like with the overhead catenary system installed and over there by the operation and maintenance facility. Looking from left to right at the pictures at the bottom, as you saw in the video, we have now we actually have 6 vehicles inside of our operation and maintenance facility. We just received our 6th last week. And then the second picture is, as I mentioned, along Veterans Parkway. That is our overhead catenary system. And you can see all those poles all along there as we get ready to begin static and dynamic testing of the vehicles. You also saw in the video some glimpses of Campus Drive, and these photos here show you Campus Drive and those canopies that you saw in the drone footage in the videos that was just playing. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to our construction team to go over the construction related to this area in particular, to give updates of what's upcoming and what has been completed. So over to Scott to go through those details.
Thank you, Ray. My name is Scott Glass. I'm the area manager for the area from Bethesda to Silver Spring. Just to go over what we've been doing here in Bethesda, starting in Bethesda, our recent and continuing work involves our excavation horizontally in the cavern at the bottom of the shaft that is going to eventually connect to the WMATA Red Line. We've been using a specially designed formwork system that you can see in this photo to construct the concrete arch roof of the cavern. We have completed the first section of this roof concrete placement in the main cavern, and we are ready to place the second one this week. Coming up, will be continuing blasting excavation work in this shaft and cavern through February of next year. And then we'll be completing the current phase of the cavern excavation that we're in right now in the coming month, and we'll be advancing to the final stage of the vertical excavation to the bottom of this main cavern. Next slide. In the Bethesda Purple Line station, our recent and ongoing work has been primarily involving the mechanical and electrical installation in the station. We have completed the station platform that you can see in the photo on the right, and we have constructed the concrete steps and the escalator that takes the egress up to the street level at Wisconsin Avenue. We've also been continuing and completing a significant amount of under-platform utilities. Upcoming work in the station will continue to be a significant amount of mechanical systems installation and electrical work and control systems. We are going to, in the near future, begin our track installation at the east limit of the Bethesda station, and we will be continuing our construction of retaining walls at the west limit of the Purple Line alignment in the Woodmont Plaza. Next slide, please. Just east of the Bethesda station, where the alignment is still underground, we have the Bethesda enclosed trainway. In this area, we have been doing a lot of efforts to protect and relocate existing utilities that are in the roof of that trainway area. We've completed installing a significant structural steel element that is for the installation of jet fans that will be supported by these beams. We have begun and are continuing installation of drainage and duct banks and safety walks. And we have completed, as I mentioned, a lot of the utility relocations and the painting of the side walls of this area. And we've also completed the under bridge painting of Wisconsin Avenue. Upcoming work through this area is finishing up the safety walk utilities that run alongside the trainway. And we will be very soon starting the track slab and track installation through this area. And there's drainage area that will be completed before that happens. Just outside of that, where we daylight at the foot of Pearl Street, we have the Elm Street pedestrian bridge that's been completed. Recent and ongoing work, we've completed the construction of the ramps leading up to this bridge, as well as the bridge itself. All of the walls in this area are now completed. We have a major communications equipment building pad that's in this location that's also been completed. Upcoming work in this area will be installing the final railings and fences and completing the ramp connections to the bridge that tie into Pearl Street, and finally paving the CCT through. Next slide, please. From Pearl Street east to Connecticut Avenue, the alignment runs through the golf course area, and in this area we've completed all the walls and the noise wall construction. We have finished completed the installation of our traction power substation Q1. We've begun trail connection at East-West Highway and completed final grading and ballast curb installations through this area. The track installation is ballasted track through this corridor, and that too has been installed. Upcoming work will continue the CCT trail connections and complete the track installation at Connecticut Avenue Bridge, and also continue the work to pave the CCT trail. Next slide, please. Connecticut Avenue Station at the Chevy Chase, or I'm sorry, the Connecticut Avenue Station here. We have completed our platforms to the station, installed station canopies. We've begun a significant amount of utility installations and completed a significant amount as well. We've begun construction of the stairway access structures and towers that lead up from the Connecticut Avenue level up to the station level. And we are continuing, the upcoming work will be involving continuing the installation of the station elements, the stair and elevator structures, and the equipment that goes within them, and completing the deck placement on the CCT bridge over Connecticut Avenue. Next slide, please. In the Chevy Chase Lakes area, ongoing work has finally seen some completion of utility relocations for communications. We have started the water and sewer relocations on Chevy Chase Lakes Drive. Those are underway with the sewer relocation in progress right now. We've begun retaining wall construction. There's an MSE retaining wall that crosses along the backside of the track alignment through this corridor. And we have begun storm drain outfall south of Chevy Chase Lakes Drive. Upcoming work in this area will be finishing up utility relocations that are related to overhead power lines that are need to be relocated for our continued construction of the culvert that gets constructed through this area, completing water and sewer relocations in Chevy Chase Lakes Drive, and completing the box culvert, which is a precast concrete structure. The restoration of Chevy Chase Lakes Drive is anticipated in July of 2025. Next slide. Just a little bit further east of that location is our Copeland Run crossing, where we've had significant progress, completed the stream underpass, the wall installations, the retaining walls, and the construction of the pedestrian underpass. We have ground improvements in this area that were challenging that have also been completed. At this time, that embankment is fully completed. We have the copings on top of the retaining walls in progress, and we'll be in the near future completing noise wall construction and the installation of OCS foundations, and then ultimately in the near future start to see the track go in from here west towards Connecticut. Next slide, please. Just a bit further east from Copeland is Jones Mill Road crossing. We have been at work at this location, getting utility relocations finalized and completing paving, curbs, and restoration on the east side of the road to switch over the traffic. We completed the construction of the east wing walls and implemented the traffic shift on the east side of Jones Mill earlier this summer. We've begun construction of the west wing walls on the west side of this crossing. And at that location, we'll be continuing the excavation for the west side of this bridge and taking that work through spring and summer of next year. Next slide, please. At Rock Creek, we have our LRT bridge in the picture here to the right. We have this summer completed all of the stream side restorations, the bank restorations, and the west embankments. We've also restored the Rock Creek Trail this summer. We have continuing work ongoing there at this location on the east side to complete the east embankment and the retaining walls that are in that area. Very soon, in the next couple of months, we'll be erecting the CCT bridge, large truss bridge that makes this crossing right adjacent to the LRT bridge. And that is expected to be erected in December. The systems, I'll pass it off here to Sarin.
think we might need to just go ahead and jump into these, Scott. I'm not sure.
I can walk through
Okay.
these, our progress with the systems and testing. You want to advance ahead here. Next slide, please. So we have a lot of progress that we've been working on with the systems and the testing at the test track location, which is on the east end of the project. Our test track location is adjacent to the Glen Ridge Operations and Maintenance Facility. It is 1 mile. It parallels Route 410 Veterans Highway between Annapolis Road and Riverdale Road. In this location, the test track utilizes we've been performing or getting ready to perform dynamic running tests with these LRV vehicles that are now on site in the OMF building. Our focus is on qualification, proof of design to ensure that all of the systems that operate and run the LRV have been the connections have been made correctly, and they're interfacing as they should with the various wayside equipment that's installed along the way. And this operation and testing is scheduled to be starting in the coming month. This fall, as I mentioned, we'll be testing. You see in the right-hand picture the operations and maintenance facility in Glen Ridge and all of the track that's been installed and completed. In this area, we have 5 LRVs delivered and static tested. There's 8 more planned for delivery late this year. We have track work that has all been installed, built, constructed, tied in, tamped, tested. Inspection testing is finally in the final stages for this track in this area. The traction power, the overhead catenary systems, are powered from the traction power substation Q7 that was installed last year, and it has been fully tested out. Power cable installations are making final connections now. As we speak, overhead catenary systems through this corridor are erected. The poles, brackets, tension wire are all complete. Contact wires, sectionalizing switches are completed, and the testing on all of those elements of the complete system are in final stages. Next slide, please. Our testing operations include LRV braking and propulsion. The propulsion is driven from the overhead catenary power, the vehicle safety systems, the automatic vehicle locators, and emergency communications. There is this begins the operator training, so for the operations and maintenance, and it also begins our efforts to start the coordination with MTS, police, fire in the local fire departments. Safety is top priority on our alignment throughout the corridor, but especially it begins a new stage of exposure to the public. Please do not stop or enter into this right of way where we have active trains moving on the system. LRVs seen in this area are not in service. They are in the process of testing. The dedicated alignment is not accessible in any way to the public at this time. There's no road crossings or interaction with motorists in the test track area. The state-of-the-art vehicle overrun protection prevents the vehicles from departing from the test track segments. But most importantly, again, it is imperative and paramount that third parties keep their distance from these locations where trains are being tested. Next slide, please. Okay, I'll pass it off to the community.
Thanks, Scott. Next slide. So we are pretty active in the community. We have seen a lot of you out and about, including the Bethesda Row Arts Festival. If there are events you would like us to attend, please let us know, and you can always reach us at outreach@purplelinemd.com. And next slide, please. I will turn it over to Doran for bike, scooter, and skateboard safety.
Thank you, Carla.
Carla,
This
this
slide
is Trimurti. And I have a question which I've been asking for the last 2 years. It's great that so much of the work has been done. What are you going to do about the homeowners on this side?
Mr. Moti, can we let us finish the presentation and then we'll get to questions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your
Thanks
patience.
Thanks so much. We're almost done. A couple more slides here. First is on bike, scooter, and skateboard safety. As we make so much progress that you saw in the video and you may see near your community on the tracks, we just wanted to give a reminder to those operating vehicles with smaller wheels to use crosswalks, and when crossing the tracks, cross them perpendicular and very carefully. It's always good best practice as a cyclist to maybe walk it across a crosswalk if that's possible. So just a reminder to everyone and to remind your children out there if you're near tracks in your area to cross perpendicular, and also be careful when they're wet or frozen, as they can be a little bit slippery. Next slide, please. I always have the pleasure of talking about the Beyond the Rails Community Grant Program. This summer, we provided the most recent tranche of six grants to support neighboring community groups that are making such a positive impact along the Purple Line alignment and in our communities. And this is a reminder that the next set of 6 grants will be awarded, but the deadline to apply is 1 month from now, November 30th, 2024. So you can get all the information on our website. But we're really encouraging groups that are doing good work to improve the community or the environment to log onto the website, make a short application, and so we can consider you for a grant to further your efforts. And I will pass it off to Ray to talk just a little bit more about the website.
Thank you for that, Doran. As you can see here on the screen now, we refreshed our website over this past summer to make it a little bit more user-friendly. Here on the website, we have it both in the desktop view and also on the mobile view. That makes it easier for individuals to get information about what's happening on the Purple Line. As you can see there, the yellow square or yellow rectangle, that first one there, gives you construction updates and detours. As part of the refresh part, we've added an interactive map that shows you all of the stations along the route. You can click on it. You can find out what construction updates are happening in your area, the time frame for those maintenance of traffic that are happening, and the detours associated with them. Additionally, if you want to explore stations of what it will look like in the future, you can click on the map there that gives you artistic renderings of what the Purple Line will look like, including what the art will be at each of the stations. You saw in the video some of the art in transit, in particular on University of Maryland, where you saw the colorful canopies. Each station will have unique art at it that will be on display that relates to each of the areas. Additionally, we have all of the social media platforms that we use across to help to communicate information to the public, and you can get more information on resources regarding what the layout is and where sidewalks and all of that is if you click on the resources tab. Moving to the next slide, we always want to remind you about how you can get in contact with us. As I mentioned, we have the website. But we also have dedicated email addresses. We have outreach@purplelinemd.com for anyone that has any questions for us, and we'll be sure to answer those questions as quickly as possible and as responsive as possible. Additionally, we have a dedicated email for media@purplelinemd.com for any questions that the media may have. And if you can't email us, you can always call us. We have a both English and Spanish line where a person will answer the phone and answer your questions for you. And as I mentioned, you please follow us if you're on social media at purplelinemd.com or at purplelinemd. across on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, and on Instagram. There you can get quick updates on what's happening on the Purple Line, learn about what's happening, events we're at, learn about detours, and what's happening in your area in and around the Purple Line. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Carla and we'll jump to the questions.
Thanks, Ray. Just a reminder to everybody, you can put questions in the chat, and you can also raise your hand through the icon that's up at the top, and we can start with Srimoti. Srimoti, if you want to take yourself off mute and ask your question now, we're ready.
Okay. This is Srimoti Mukherjee Roy, homeowner 3315 Copeland Terrace. As you're aware that the line goes behind our house, it's destroyed my garden, it's destroyed part of my yard. Now my biggest question to Carla has been, and to the Purple Line, the fence between the Purple Line and my yard does not have a ledge on the other side. If anything happens to the fence, we have to repair it. There is no place to stand on the other side. I've been requesting Purple Line to put in at least a foot of solid ledge, so in case we need repairs, we have that option. But for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been trying to get an answer from Purple Line, and sorry to say, I've not received one.
So I think
calls are not returned. I'm sorry. Sometimes I text Carla and then she'll respond. But you know, it's not just Carla's job to give me an answer. The Purple Line needs to give an answer. What are you doing for this homeowners on this side?
So I think the answer that we are at is that the fence is on the property line, and behind your house, the grade goes down. It's in final condition now. So we can't put, unless you want to move your fence into your property some, we can't change the grade on the actual design of the Purple Line.
Carla, you've taken about 3 years to give me this. Why couldn't something have been done? How much more of my property line do I have to keep moving in? It already started when we had to put in the fence. We had to give up about a few feet. We have followed all the rules and all the suggestions as good citizens. What are you doing for us? Why has it taken you 3 years to say that you can't do anything and nothing can be done?
We have said this before. So the fence is on the property line. We can't change the grade behind it because it is in final condition per the design.
How many years? I mean, I've been requesting, you've said you'll look into it, you'll try to do something. And now you're telling me it's finalized and nothing can be done? Why did it take so long to give me this answer?
We've shared this before. Back when it was a temporary.
You said you look into it.
Which we did.
And you try and do something.
Okay, well,
let us follow up with you a little bit more, because we do have other individuals that have their hands up in questions. I appreciate the question.
Now you're trying to blow me off. Thank you for after 3 years. That's what you're trying to do. That's the best.
I am not. I am trying to be considerate to other individuals that are on here so they can ask their questions.
What about
so we
consideration
will get
to
back
me?
to
For
you.
3 years, I've been waiting for an answer.
Understood. We have another person whose hand is up. We will move on to the next person. All right. Barney Rush, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ray. First of all, I'm the vice mayor of the town of Chevy Chase, and I want to report that our residents are certainly pleased that the noise wall has been virtually completed all along the 36 homes that are directly backing onto the Purple Line. So that's really good news. And that's certainly helped already in terms of cutting the construction noise. So that's we're pleased about that. What's helpful to us is if we can get a little more precision about what really do you think will happen in terms of actual construction, say over the next 6 months, since we have these meetings twice a year. And I really didn't hear that. So I'd really like to know what we can report to our residents. What can they expect will happen on those 36 homes that basically go between the bridge of the Capitol Crescent Trail at the portal to the east-west highway that passes over the tracks? What, in that stretch, what do you see as being done in the next 6 months? We can see there's the beginning of the laying of the track, but will that be complete? Will other walls be complete? We just like to have a better sense of what can be expected over the winter until early spring.
All right, Scott, do you want to come on and go through a little bit more details in that of what work could be completed in that particular
Sure.
area?
Happy to. In the most of the work in that corridor is going to be in the location at the portal itself. We have
I'm sorry,
track
that picture is not, that's not us. We are between East-West Highway and the portal, not the portal to Connecticut.
So the most of the
No,
work
not
that-
I'm sorry, not where the golf course is. We're from the portal to East-West Highway.
Yeah, I think it was the Elm Street slide you had. If you back up to the BET, it's the one right after that. The next one.
Right, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of the section, and it continues to where the East-West Highway cuts over the tracks.
So most of our work will be happening from this location to the entrance that we have off of East-West Highway, which is on Lynn Drive. That is the access that our remaining rail will be delivered through, and installation will continue from that location toward the portal. And there is catenary poles that will be installed after that occurs. And then following that, there will be continued work on the catenary line installations. That really will be carrying through, now through next spring into the first part of the summer. This section from Bethesda, that really at this location, all the way to the Rock Creek area is another, the Littonsville operation and maintenance facility is a priority location for a secondary test track section. So that whole corridor is a high priority to complete rail and systems installations. We have areas through this corridor that have Pepco tie-ins that are not completed yet. Those connections are made from East-West Highway, so those don't affect the residents on the south side of the tracks too much, but that work will be underway. And then also we'll be continuing the completion of the sign or the fencing and the walls that are on the CCT trail.
Okay, I hear all that. What do you expect within the next 6 months?
All of those activities will be occurring.
They'll be occurring, or when will they be completed?
I can't promise they'll be completed in the next 6 months. There is
will the track be completed within that time?
Yes.
Okay, so the track will be completed within 6 months, and you will be putting in the poles for the catenary wires?
Correct.
Will you actually be stringing the catenary wires also, or just putting in the poles?
Not likely. That what they typically will start the stringing of the catenary wires when there's several thousand feet available to make their connections. So that will probably happen once there are poles erected from Connecticut to like Rock Creek area.
Okay. Another question, the exit off of the bridge that goes onto Pearl Street, when will that paving be complete?
That should be completed before the end of this paving season, by December.
Okay. And I heard on the presentation, you said you're going to be paving, but what is the final surface going to be on the ramps going up the bridge and then the ramp coming down? Is it going to be asphalt, or is it going to remain the concrete that's already been poured? What will that surface be?
It remains concrete. It's the ramps and the bridge have a concrete deck that was placed over all of the structures that are below them, and that is the finished surface. So
that's completely finished then. Effectively the paving of the CCT in that stretch is done.
From what you see in that picture right there, the bottom of that ramp where it's full width concrete, from there all the way down to the foot of the ramp at the bottom of Elm Street, that is completed. There is a tie-in that we aren't fully completed with it right at the very tie-in at Elm Street, but
right, and then on Pearl too. But the bridge and the beginning of the ramp there that's facing eastward, that's complete.
Correct. That's right.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate that. Carla, I see we have some more questions that have popped up in the chat, so back to you.
Thanks, Ray. First from Paul. Great to hear the progress. This project is very important. In the state of Maryland, funding for the completion of construction assured. I asked, given the news coverage about funding shortfalls in Maryland and the transportation budget. Thanks. So Ray, the question is,
do we have funding for the purple line?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I was trying to interpret what is it saying. Yes.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Next question. Will the catenaries cross over Connecticut Avenue? What voltage do the catenary wires carry? And what would happen if the catenary wires are downed by wind or tree limbs?
So probably over to Scott for this one.
Matt's back on too.
Oh, Matt is here. So Matt, it's you.
Matt,
hey guys. Could you repeat the first part of that question? I heard the second part.
Sure. It said, will the catenary cross over Connecticut Avenue? What voltage do the catenary wires carry? And what would happen if the catenary wires are downed by wind or tree limbs?
Okay, so and you have to forgive me filling in for Seren the exact voltage. I don't know off the top of my head, but somebody from our team will correct me quickly. If the catenary lines are downed, there are protection breakers and isolations that will kick in instantaneously. So the system is designed to react to any down lines as a short circuit. Very similar to a short circuit in your house. The breakers will trip and isolate that section immediately.
Thanks, Matt. Next question from Andy O'Hare. Is there a new date for the completion of the light rail project and activation of the line for rail service?
No, that date has not changed since the last set of CAT meetings that we had. And that it will be in the December 2027.
That's it in text or in chat right now, Ray. It looks like both Joel and Clark have a hand up. Clark, did you want to ask your question? And then Joel, will get to you next.
Clark, if you can unmute yourself. All right. We'll come back to you, Clark. Joel, unmute yourself and go ahead with your questions.
Good evening. I haven't been to Bethesda for a long time, and I had some questions earlier about the two bus providers, Metro and the ride-on. Are they going to keep the bus stops where they are? And also, if the bus is going to be still getting the same route as it is now. And the players, I guess, they have to wait till it gets to the operation day when it opens up. I'm still looking forward to that grand opening, like I mentioned before. I know Metro had a lot of openings I went to. So maybe some of the community in Bethesda and Connecticut can sponsor them. Maybe they can cater some food, have a little reception after the ceremony. Have a ceremony with all the elected officials, Metro, Montgomery County, and the county council, the county executive. I don't know. I think Chevy Chase says Bethesda is it's corporated. I know Chevy Chase is. Maybe the mayor of Chevy Chase can come too and have little speeches before the grand opening. And they take them like real one-way free ride. But I don't know if that will happen. But I did before Metro. I had two cars, one for a souvenir and one to use. I don't know if that would happen. So I'm really excited about this project coming to completion. I've been using it a lot of time going to work and going home and going to these meetings, and I think medical center has I go get my card renewed, my employment card, the CAT card. So that's all I have to say. You have a good evening.
I appreciate it, Joel. It's always good to see you on these CAT meetings. You've attended all of them as usual, but it's really exciting to hear the enthusiasm as we are marching towards that Revenue Service Day. So we did sort of a preview of a celebration with the LRV reveal. That was just a taste, but I'm sure to be a very grand occasion for everybody across Montgomery and Prince George's County. So it'll be very big. We're looking forward to that piece. On the bus piece, more details will continue to come out as we get closer and closer. If bus stops will change as we work closely with our local jurisdictions, like you said, with Ride On and all of that. And that information will be shared and communicated so that you know where to catch the bus as it relates to the Purple Line and all of that, so that you know how to get around as easy and as quickly as possible, both for work and personal reasons. So thank you for that again, Joel.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It looks like there's further clarification for the previous question. Are catenary wires crossing Connecticut Avenue?
All right. And then I see we have one hand up from Marsha.
I think we got to stop there for a minute. Yeah, so the catenary will cross. Go ahead, Matt. Yeah.
Yes, the catenary will cross Connecticut Avenue on top of the bridge in the trainway. And in the further clarification, the voltage that was asked previously is 1500 volt DC.
Thanks, Matt. And there's one other chat question from Andy O'Hare. What will be the Capitol Crescent Trail surface material from Bethesda to Connecticut Avenue?
Scott, do you want to come on to answer that?
Sure. The surface of the trail from Bethesda at Pearl Street to Connecticut Avenue will be asphalt.
Did we catch them all that time, Carla? Questions in the chat?
Yep, we're good on chat right now.
All right, I'll jump back over to the hands up. So Martha, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Marcia, sorry.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
I just wanted to, I guess, clarify or maybe amplify Srimoti's earlier question. I also live on Copeland Terrace, and the Purple Line construction runs behind both of our houses. Maybe a point of concern would be, Carla talked about the grade of the construction that can't be changed. The concern may be more around if there's a retaining wall or a sound soak wall being put into place that would alleviate some of the possibility of erosion and or loss of property behind our property and approaching the Purple Line construction.
Okay. So the erosion and loss of property due to the grade and all of that.
Right.
Scott, did you want to take that piece?
I'm really not familiar with the specific slope.
My understanding is that the grades back there are in final condition. There's nothing else that's being installed there.
Okay, so that they're not even a noise wall or sound soak wall is not going to come up between the train lines and the on either side of the tracks.
I need to look at further down the grade, but the grade, how it is, but at least behind Srimoti's house, I need to look at your address too, Marcia.
Okay.
But let us take a look at the plans, but I think what is behind there now, how the grade goes down, is final condition. Like, there's not going to be anything added behind the fence further there. There might be further down grade where the train is, but I'd need to look at that.
Okay, because I think there was an understanding that there would be sound soak walls all along the tracks on either side. Is that not the case? Because I think you talked about them being constructed further west of where we are.
Let us take a look at the plans and get back to you guys on that. But
okay. Thanks, Carla.
All right, appreciate that, Marcia. Clark, I see. Let's try again and see if you can unmute yourself and ask your question to us. Let me see if I can't help you. If you can't unmute yourself, try typing your question in the chat. And we can read your question from here. Clark, I see you sent us a chat message.
Hello, this is Srimoti, and piggybacking off, just wanted to let Carla know that, Carla, you and Jared Solomon had come over last year when I was undergoing cancer treatment and kindly looked at the place and said you'd get back to me. And I never heard again. And you did send two young ladies to check it out. If I open my back gate, we go straight down into the tracks. That's how steep the grade is.
Yeah,
and you
I know
said
it's
you
pretty.
were going to turn. And you said you were going to try and see if you could get a ledge or something. I'm not because in case that fence falls and breaks, how do I fix it?
It has to
You're
be
going
moved
to
into
need
it has to be moved into your property further because
how
it's
much
on
more?
the property.
You've
It's on the property line right now.
This is where the county told us to put the fence. The county came and marked the place. That's why we put the fence there. You know this history.
Yeah, I know that they've marked the property line and the fence is directly on the property line, so it would have to be moved further in.
I can't do anymore. You've already destroyed my trees thanks to Purple Line. How much more do you want to destroy of my property?
Nobody wants to destroy your property. So
we'll but it is a taxpayer property. I pay taxes on it. There is a path on the other side. Why was not a ledge made over here just to shore it up?
Because it's on the property.
That's all
line.
I asked.
Your fence is on the property line, so it would have to be moved in if there's a ledge to be made for maintenance on your property.
If I move the fence in, will Purple Line make the ledge?
If you move it in, it would already be on your property, so it's already moving kind of at the same grade in.
So basically, after 3 years of telling me, let's see what we can do, this is your answer.
We investigated it, and I recently spent a lot of time with Delegate Solomon's office looking at that. So you are correct. We did. We spent a lot of time looking at it, and that grade cannot be changed because it's in final condition, and the fence is directly on the property line. So it would have to be moved in further for you to maintain a fence that's within your property.
I understand that. And you said you would look into it and you would get back to me. Nobody ever got back to me. This is the first time hearing. You sent 2 young ladies who came, and I said, I want them, be careful, don't open the door, you don't want to go. And if you had told me, if you said you'd send an engineer, you would do this, and you'd see what you could do. If I moved it in at that point, would you have built a little ledge?
Well, I think we can't go backwards, but so I don't want to interrupt you, but at the same time, we're kind of going in circles, and we can take this offline and definitely get in touch with you going forward, but we can't kind of rehash the past at this particular meeting.
No, but the problem is past is part of the present now, because nobody brought me up to the present till this meeting, and I'm bringing up the question because it was not answered. And you have to understand, I'm a property owner. It's going behind my house. I'm dealing with the construction noise. I'm dealing with all the things that are happening, and it's upset the flora and fauna over here. My property has been destroyed, and you have to know, you are new. This is the first time I'm meeting you.
We appreciate the information you're giving. I see Clark has been able to.
I'm bringing you up to date.
Thank you for bringing us up to date. I see Clark wasn't able to talk earlier. Sorry, I want to go back to Clark because he was having difficulty with audio, but he was able to put his chat message in with his question. So I'm gonna read his question now, and we're gonna go to that piece now. With regards to overhead EMF, this would be at 1500 joules at half max EMF, or would this be at 1500 RMS, AC converted to DC? Would girder rail not constitute a biker-friendly alternate to rail? So Matt, I'm gonna bring you on to answer this as the expert in this area. So come on, Matt, for us. Matt, are you there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
I'm gonna have to get back to you. This is a little above my my knowledge off the top of my head, but I'll take some notes here and get back with Carla so we can get an answer out.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
we can definitely follow up with that one in the Q&A. I think that's all we have in chat for right now, Ray.
All right. I just wanted to follow up. Marcia, did you have a follow-up question? I just see your hand is still up.
Sorry, no, I asked the question I needed to ask, and I heard Carla said that she would get back to us and check on the location of my house relative to Shimoti's, and my question about a retaining or sound soak wall that would prevent some possible erosion down from our properties to the track level.
Got it. Thanks for summing it up to make sure we capture those questions. I'm gonna turn it back to you, Carla. I'm not seeing any other hands up. If you can just let everyone know where all the questions that were not able to be fully answered tonight, where we post them at online, and then close us out.
Sure, absolutely. So if you visit Purple Line MD and you go to the meetings section, you'll see the CAT segments broken out there with all of the years of the CAT meetings posted there. So within the next week or so, this recording along with the presentation, and as we finalize the Q&A, that will be posted there where you can download those. And if you can't find it, you need help finding it, you can reach out to us at outreach@purplelinemd.com, and we can certainly help you do that if you need any help. The hotline numbers are here in English and Spanish. And again, you can follow Purple Line MD handle on social media for updates, as well as sign up for construction updates through the website as well. So we appreciate everybody's time tonight, and we will be following up with those of you who need additional follow-up. Thanks again, everybody, for your time.